here on page 123. Hopefully you had a break from the last time. 45 minutes is a long time to read, especially for me out loud. All right, let's get started. Hall of Mirrors. I stopped by the manager's office, and the secretary says my mother is on the phone. Just as well. It will be easier if I find a pair of jeans without her around. I head to the young ladies section of the store. Another reason they don't make any money. Who wants to be called young lady? I need a size 10, as much as it kills me to admit that. Everything I own is an 8 or a small. I look at my canoe feet and my wet, obnoxious ankle bones. Aren't girls supposed to stop growing at this age? When I was in 6th grade, my mom bought me all these books about puberty and adolescence, so I would appreciate what a beautiful and natural, miraculous transformation I was going through. Crap, that's what it is. She complains all the time about her hair turning gray and her butt sagging and her skin wrinkling, but I'm supposed to be grateful for a face full of zits, hair in embarrassing places, and feet that grow an inch a night? Utter crap. No matter what I try on, I know I'll hate it. Efforts has cornered the market on completely unfashionable clothes. Clothes that grandmas buy for your birthday. It's a fashion graveyard. Just get a pair that fits, I tell myself. One pair, that's the goal. I look around. No mom. I carry 3 pairs of the least offensive jeans into the dressing room. I'm the only person trying anything on. The first pair is way too small. I can't even get them over my butt. I don't bother with the second pair. They're a smaller size. The third pair is huge, exactly what I'm looking for. I scurry out to the 3-way mirror with an extra large sweatshirt over the top. You can hardly tell they're Efforts jeans. Still no mom. I adjust the mirror so I can see reflections of reflections, miles and miles of me and my new jeans. I hook my hair around behind my ears. I should have washed it. My face is dirty. I lean into the mirror. Eyes after eyes after eyes stare back at me. Am I in there somewhere? 1,000 eyes blink. No makeup. Dark circles. I pull the side flaps of the mirror in closer, folding myself into the looking glass and blocking out the rest of the store. My face becomes a Picasso sketch. My body slicing into the dissecting cubes. I saw a movie once where a woman was burned over 80% of her body and they had to wash all the dead skin off. They wrapped her in bandages, kept her drugged, and waited for skin drafts. They actually sewed her into a new skin. I push my ragged mouth against the mirror. 1,000 bleeding, crusted lips push back. What does it feel like to walk in a new skin? Was she completely sensitive like a baby or numb without nerve endings? Just a walking skin bag. I exhale and my mouth disappears in fog. I feel my skin has been burned off. I stumble from thorn bush to thorn bush. My mother and father who hate each other. Rachel who hates me. A school that gags on me like I'm a hairball. And Heather. I just need to hang on long enough for my new skin to graft. Mr. Freeman thinks I need to find my feelings. How can I not find them? They are chewing me alive like an infestation of thoughts, shame, mistakes. I squeeze my eyes shut. Jeans that fit, that's a good start. I have to stay away from the closet, go to all my classes. I will make myself normal. Forget the rest of it. Germination. We finished the plant unit in biology. Miss Keene drops 10-pound hints that the test will focus on seeds. I study. How seeds get planted. This is actually cool. Some plants spit their seeds into the wind. Others make seeds yummy enough, drink cranberry apricot juice. Too bad I can't buy stock in the juice company. I am watching a trend in the making. Hang on a second. You know what? There is a page missing here. Oh my gosh. Can't believe it. See, class, it goes from 125 down here to 128. That's ghetto. Let me grab my hard copy. Give me just a second. Cannot believe this. 126 to 128. Oh my goodness gracious me. Let's see here. Because that seed part's kind of important. All right. Dang, dude, I skipped a lot. Dang. Skipped like 4 pages. All right, I'm going to read it to you. It's not on the screen anymore. Sorry about that. Okay, germination. We finished the plant unit in biology. Miss Keene drops 10-pound hints that the test will focus on seeds. I study. How seeds get planted. This is actually cool. Some plants spit their seeds into the wind. Others make seeds yummy enough for birds to eat, so they get pooped out on passing cars. Plants make way more seeds than they need because they know that life is not perfect and all the seeds won't make it. Kind of smart when you think about it. People used to do that too, have 12 or 15 kids because they figured some would die, some would turn out rotten, and a couple would be hard-working, honest farmers. Who knew how to plant seeds? What seeds need to germinate? Seeds are inefficient. If the seed is planted too deep, it doesn't warm up at the right time. Plant it too close to the surface and a crow eats it. Too much rain and the seed molds. Not enough rain and it never gets started. Even if it does manage to sprout, it can be choked by weeds, rooted up by a dog, mashed by a soccer ball, or asphyxiated by car exhaust. It's amazing anything survives. How plants grow quickly. Most plants grow fast and die young. People get 70 years. A bean plant gets 4 months, maybe 5. Once the itty-bitty baby plant peeks out of the ground, it sprouts leaves so it can absorb more sun. Then it sleeps, eats, and sunbathes until it's ready to flower, a teenage plant. This is a bad time to be a rose or a zinnia or a marigold because people attack with the scissors and cut off what's pretty. But plants are cool. If the rose is picked, the plant just grows another one. It needs to bloom to produce more seeds. I'm going to ace this test. Baloney exile. My cafeteria strategy has changed since I have no friends in the known universe. First off, I don't go through the line for anything to avoid that vulnerable moment coming out to the lunchroom. That moment when every head lifts and evaluates friend, enemy, or loser. So I brown bag it. I had to write a note to my mother asking her to buy lunch bags, bologna, and little containers of applesauce. The note made her happy. She came home from the store with all kinds of junk food I could take. Maybe I should start talking to them, maybe just a little bit. What if I say the wrong thing? Baloney girl, that's me. I try to read while eating alone, but the noise gets between my eyes and page and I can't see through it. I observe, I pretend I'm a scientist on the outside looking in, the way Miss Keene describes her days, watching rats get lost in mazes. The Marthas don't get lost. They sit in formation. A new girl in my old seat, a sophomore who just moved here from Oregon. Her clothes have a dangerously high percentage of polyester. She needs to get that taken care of. They nibble carrot sticks and olives and spread pate onto stone-ground wheat crackers and trade bites of goat cheese. Meg and Emily and Heather drink cranberry apricot juice. Too bad I can't buy stock in the juice company. I am watching the trend in the making. Okay, we'll pick it up right here. Are they talking about me? They're certainly laughing enough. I chomp my sandwich and it barfs mustard onto my shirt. Maybe they're planning the next project. They can mail snowballs to the weather-deprived children in Texas. They can knit goat hair blankets for shorn sheep. I imagine what Heather might look like in 10 years after 2 children and 70 pounds. It helps a little. Rachel Rochelle takes a seat at the end of my table with Hannah, an exchange student from Egypt. Rachel Rochelle is now experimenting with Islam. She wears a scarf on her head and some brown and red gauzy harem pants. Her eyes are ringed with black eyeliner, thick as crayon. I think I see her looking at me, but I'm probably wrong. Hannah wears jeans and a Gap t-shirt, and they eat hummus and pita and titter in French. There is a sprinkling of losers like me scattered among the happy teenagers, prunes in the oatmeal school. The others have the social power to sit down with losers. I'm the only one sitting alone, under the glowing neon lights, which reads, "Complete and total loser, not quite sane, stay away, do not feed." I go to the restroom to turn my shirt around so the mustard stain is hidden under my hair. Snow day, school as usual. We had 8 inches of snow last night. In any other part of the country, that would mean a snow day. Not in Syracuse. We never get snow days. It snows an inch in South Carolina and everything shuts down, and they get on the 6 o'clock news. In our school district, they plow early and often, and they put chains on bus tires. Hairwoman tells us they canceled school for a whole week back in the 70s because of an energy crisis. It is wicked cold and would have cost too much to heat the school. She looks wistful, 1-point vocab word. She blows her nose loudly and pops another smelly green cough drop. The wind blasts a snowdrift against the window. Our teachers need a snow day. They look unusually pale. The men aren't shaving carefully, and the women never remove their boots. They suffer some sort of teacher flu. Their noses drip, their throats gum up, their eyes are rimmed red. They come to school long enough to infect the staff room, and then they go home sick when the sub shows up. Hairwoman, open your books now. Who can tell me what snow symbolized to Hawthorne? The class groan. Hawthorne wanted snow to symbolize cold. That's what I think. Cold and silence. Nothing quieter than snow. The sky screams to deliver it, 100 banshees flying on the edge of the blizzard. But once the snow covers the ground, it hushes, as still as my heart. Stupid, stupid. I sneak into my closet after school because I can't face the idea of riding home on a bus full of sweaty, smiling, teeth sucking up my oxygen. I say hello to my poster of Maya and my cubist tree. My turkey bone sculpture has fallen down again. I prop it up on a shelf next to the mirror. It slides back down and lies flat. I leave it there and curl up in my chair. The closet is warm and I'm ready for a nap. I've been having trouble sleeping at home. I wake up because the covers are on the floor or because I'm standing at the kitchen door trying to get out. It feels safer in my little hideaway. I doze off. I wake up to the sound of girls screaming, "Be aggressive, be aggressive, be aggressive." For a minute there, I think that I've tripped into a land of the truly insane, but the crowd roars. It is a basketball game, the last game of the season. I check my watch, 8:45. I've been asleep for hours. I grab my backpack and fly down the hall. The noise of the gym pulls me in. I stand by the door for the last minute of the game. The crowd chants down the last seconds like it's New Year's Eve and then explode from the stands like angry hornets at the sound of the buzzer. We won, beating the Coatesville Cougars 51-50. The cheerleaders weep, the coaches embrace. I get caught up in the excitement and clap like a little girl. This is my mistake, thinking I belong. I should have bolted for home immediately, but I don't. I hang around. I want to be part of it all. David Petrakis pushes towards the door in the middle of a group of friends. He sees me looking at him and detaches himself from his pod. David, "Melinda, where were you sitting? Did you see that last shot? Unbelievable, unfreaking believable." And he dribbles an imaginary ball on the ground and fakes left and right and then pulls up for a shot. David should stick to human rights abuses. He goes on, a loose ball racing downhill. To hear him talk, you think they just won the NBA championship. Then he invites me back to his house for celebratory pizza. David, "Come on, Mel, you gotta come with us. My dad told me I could bring anyone I wanted. We can give you a ride home after if you want. It'll be fun." You do remember fun, don't you? "Nope, I don't do parties. No thanks. I trot out excuses, homework, strict parents, tuba practice, late night dentist appointments. Have to feed the warthogs. I don't have a good track record with parties." David doesn't bother to analyze my reluctance. If he were a girl, maybe he would have pleaded or whined more. Guys don't do that. Yes, no, stay, go, suit yourself, see you Monday. I think it's some kind of psychiatric disorder when you have more than one personality in your head. That's what it feels like when I walk home. The two Melindas fight every step of the way. Melinda 1 is pissed that she couldn't go to the party. Melinda 1, get a life. It was just pizza. He wasn't going to try anything. His parents were going to be there. You worry too much. You're never going to let us have any fun, are you? You're going to turn into one of those weird old ladies who has 100 cats and calls the cops when the kids cut across her lawn. I can't stand you. Melinda 2 waits for 1 to finish her tantrum. 2 carefully watches the bushes along the sidewalk for lurking boogeymen or worse. Melinda 2, the world is a dangerous place. You don't know what could have happened. What if he was just saying his parents were going to be there? He could have been lying. You can never tell when people are lying. Assume the worst. Plan for disaster. Now hurry up and get us home. I don't like it out here. It's too dark. If I kick them both out of my head, who would be left? A night to remember. I can't sleep after the game. Again, I spend a couple of hours tuning AM radio from the weird bounces of the night. I listen to Jabber Jabber from Quebec, a farm report from Minnesota, and a country station in Nashville. I crawl out my window onto the porch roof and wrap myself in all my blankets. A fat white seed sleeps in the sky. Slush is frozen over. People say that winter lasts forever, but it's because they obsess over the thermometer. North in the mountains, the maple syrup is trickling. Brave geese punch through the thin ice left on the lake. Underground, pale seeds roll over in their sleep, starting to get restless, starting to dream grain. The moon looked closer back in August. Rachel got us to the end of the summer party, a cheerleader party, with beer and seniors and music. She blackmailed her brother Jimmy to drive us. We were all sleeping over at Rachel's house. Her mother thought Jimmy was taking us roller skating. It was at a farm a couple miles from our development. The kegs were in the barn where the speakers were set up. Most of the people hung at the edge of the lights. They looked like models in blue jean ad. Thin, big lips, big earrings, white smiles. I felt like such a little kid. Rachel found a way to fit in, of course. She knew a lot of people because of Jimmy. I tasted a beer. It was worse than cough medicine. I gulped it down. Another beer, one more, and then I worried I would throw up. I walked out of the crowd toward the woods. The moon shone on the leaves. I could see the lights like stars strung in the pines. Someone giggled, hidden beyond the dark, quiet boy-girl whispers. I couldn't see them. A step behind me, a senior. And then he was talking to me, flirting with me, this gorgeous cover model guy. His hair was way better than mine, his every inch of tan muscle, and he had straight white teeth, flirting with me. Where was Rachel? She had to see this. Great God. Where did you come from? You're too beautiful to hide in the dark. Come dance with me. He took my hand and pulled me close to him. I breathed in cologne and beer and something I couldn't identify. I fit in against his body perfectly, my head level with his shoulder. I was a little dizzy. I laid my cheek on his chest. He wrapped one arm around my back. His other hand slid down to my butt. I thought that was a little rude, but my tongue was thick with beer and I couldn't figure out how to tell him to slow down. The music was sweet. This was high school. This was what high school was supposed to feel like. Where was Rachel? She had to see this. He tilted my face up to his and he kissed me. Man kiss, hard, sweet, deep. Nearly knocked me off my feet, that kiss. And I thought for just a moment there, I had a boyfriend. I could start high school with a boyfriend, older and stronger and ready to watch out for me. He kissed me again. His teeth ground hard against my lips and it was hard to breathe. A cloud cloaked the moon. Shadows looked like photo negatives. Do you want to? He asked. What did he say? I didn't answer. I didn't know. I didn't speak. We were on the ground. When did this happen? No, I do not like this. I was on the ground and he was on top of me. My lips mumbled something about leaving, about a friend who needs me. about my parents worrying. I can hear myself. I'm mumbling like a deranged drunk. His lips lock onto mine, and I can't say anything. I twist my head away. He's so heavy. There's a boulder on top of me. I open my mouth to breathe, to scream, and his hand covers it. In my head, my voice is as clear as a bell. No, I don't want to, but I can't spit it out. I'm trying to remember how we even got on the ground, where the moon went, and wham, shirt up, shorts down, and the ground smells wet and dark. And no, I'm not really here. I'm definitely back at Rachel's, crimping my hair or gluing on fake nails, and he smells like beer and mean, and he hurts me, and gets up and zips his jeans and smiles. The next thing I saw was the telephone. I stood in the middle of a drunken crowd, and I called 911 because I needed help. All those visits from Officer Friendly in second grade paid off. A lady answered the phone. Police, state your emergency. And I saw my face in the window over the kitchen sink, and no words came out of my mouth. Who was that girl? I had never seen her before. Tears oozed down my face, over my bruised lips, pooling on the handset. It's okay, said the nice lady on the phone. We have your location. Officers are on the way. Are you hurt? Are you being threatened? Someone grabbed the phone from my hand and listened. A scream. The cops were coming, blue and cherry lights flashing in the kitchen window. Rachel's face so angry in mine. Someone slapped me. I crawled out of the room through a forest of legs. Outside, the moon smiled goodnight and slipped away. I walked home to an empty house without a word. It is in August. The moon is asleep, and I'm sitting on my porch like a frozen gargoyle, wondering if the sun is ever going to blow off the world today and sleep in. There's blood on the snow. I bit my lip clear through. It needs stitches. My mom will be late again. I hate winter. I've lived in Syracuse my whole life, and I hate winter. It starts too early and it ends too late, and no one likes it. And why does anyone stay here? My report card. Social life, F. Lunch, D. Clothes, F. Social studies, F. Biology, D+. English, D+. Spanish, D. Algebra, F. Gym, D. Art, A. All right, we'll stop there. And we will, that was a pretty heavy chapter there, heavy section. So we'll talk about that next week. All right, have a good night, day, morning, whatever it is you're doing.